I'm just going to do a quick video comparison between some of these budget banana plugs. So this is the right angle banana plug off. These are all from Amazon. And you'll notice this is this is a budget right angle. They have these with a few different names. I don't remember what name this was under, but you can tell they're basically the same with a few different names. Then there's the Monoprice, which is more of a name brand, still low cost, and this is, I think they call it deadbolt style, where you put the wire through, screw it on, and then this is another budget, starts with an X. I'm not sure what the name is here. Yeah. So, anyways, a couple things I'll point out are this Monoprice is a 3-piece. I personally have found the screw type is significantly better in my opinion. Let me just show you. So these are the first ones I got, was the deadbolt style, and this is one I took off. It was actually this is 14 gauge Amazon Basics wire. It's quite good. And it was a lot of work. It was a major pain to put this on. My fingers hurt after. It looks good. Another thing I'll point, so this is one that's been taken off. I'm gonna be taking all of these off actually, and going with the screw type. So one of the things I didn't like about this style was just how much effort you had to do to put it in, and it really kind of tore up the wire pretty hard, which means it's getting a good bite, but you'll see like the wire is so frayed and jagged that it's just starting to break off into pieces when I took it off. Good solid connection, but this is 14 gauge wire. I could not imagine putting 12 gauge wire on this. That would be or thicker. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and it's kind of a challenge to do. Here's a quick visual of how these look in the back of the receiver. The right angle looks really clean, nice. This is the right angle. The Monoprice sticks out a lot, and then this is the X brand. I forget what it's called, but those are on Amazon as well. These are a lot cheaper. These were like a 24 or 12 pairs, quite cheap. They look good, and they actually also come with heat shrink tubing to put on them to protect them, whereas this Monoprice, it's exposed. And before I go on to showing how it looks, I'll also point out that the Monoprice is a 3-piece. A lot of people are complaining about this tip has the ability to get loose, but just look at the diameter difference in the tip. You can see that this tip is much more compact than this one. This one's actually, so this is pretty much how it came. This goes in and it's got a decent connection. This is actually hard to push in, and so I've been kind of squeezing these down a bit in order to relieve some of that pressure. But I love the connection is extremely strong on these, and here's a picture of the right angle in the back of the speaker. They look great. These are pretty premium speakers, and they just fit in really well. It's a good, like, you can feel it's connected, right? And so what I did is I put heat shrink tubing on the wires, and then I put a bigger piece to connect the shielded 14 gauge Amazon Basics wire. So it looks really clean like that. And so that's what I wound up with. This is kind of what I was starting with, was something that looked like this, which looks kind of janky, as opposed to something like that, which looks great. And here's an example of the straight plugs, because basically I put on one end, I put 90 degrees. Those are to the speakers, and then this is to the receiver. And you'll see the other thing I really like is it's got this heat shrink tubing, and in the receiver, just this is all that sticks out. That's it. Versus the Monoprice, you know, this is all metal that could short out or have a problem down the road. So one last thing too is the purity or quality of the material. I don't know how much of a difference it really makes, because you look at my receiver, you see it's steel in the inside. So unless you're super high grade audio, but this is very lightly magnetic, barely. It's really mostly the tip, I think. You can see it won't lift itself all the way off, and this is a pretty strong magnet. That's the pretty cheap brand, but you can tell it's decent metal. Same here. Oh, that was the Monoprice tip. So same here with the angled. They claim to be solid copper with a tip that may have some metal in it. But it's not highly magnetic, so I'm not sure what that means. And then the Monoprice, that's got to be pure copper or brass on the bottom. The sleeve seems pretty strongly magnetized, and the tip is just pure steel. Like, you can tell it's not coming off. That's just a steel tip. Which, better or worse, I don't know. Just pointing out, and this is not a weak magnet, just to show you, like, so. One other point is I used the marine grade heat shrink tubing. I really like it. You'll notice it's got like a little bit of goo comes out. That actually will air seal things. So I just use the marine grade for this portion. I use what came with the cheaper ones for this, but if I was to really go all out and get crazy, then I would probably get red, black, marine grade heat shrink tubing, and then use this marine grade heat shrink tubing, and then the wire will be air sealed as well, so it can't corrode and things. Great for outdoors. But really like the result there. This is way nicer than that, in my opinion. So and the right angles are a little more expensive, but it seems like they're made out of pretty good materials, and also I really do like the wider tip. It just gives you more. It gives you a more secure connection, and you don't want to like jam it in there and break something, because it really has a lot of resistance. But you can tell, I mean, it's solid. It's a good connection. Versus this just kind of glides in and out quite easy. Doesn't give you that really strong connection feeling. So for what it's worth, hope that helps and helps you make a decision on banana plugs. You know, I was doing some research, and ultimately they're not really, from what I could tell, they're actually not any better than just putting wire in your receiver. Just raw wire in here and screwing it down. But it definitely is more convenient, especially if you're going to be setting it up and breaking it down. So hope that helps. Enjoy. Bye.